what is the one tip you would give people trying to get their returns in?
Well, don't do it too quickly, surprisingly, because there is an issue that a lot of information is fed into the tax office for you to do your tax return, and that information is unlikely to be there till end of July, early August. And as you've mentioned with the tax offsets, there could be some big refunds coming, and enthusiasm could mean you could do it too early, have incorrect information.
Yeah.
That's good for people like me who are not always that organised.
At least download the My Deduction app, Joanna, and get started.
Suzanne's been trying to get me to do that for years.
Let's talk about the tax offsets. And I read that there is a report that low and middle income tax offsets will be paid out. This is for a final time this year. Is that right? And who's eligible for this?
So it's based on what we call your taxable income. And that means income after deductions. So the best offset will be in the group that have earned between $48,000 and $90,000. They could get $1,500 as an individual, 2 members in the family, $3,000. So big dollars. But also for low income earners, they could be over $1,000 they could be getting back. But you've got to have paid tax. You don't automatically get the money if you haven't paid tax.
As we mentioned in the introduction, you know, we had the pandemic years where a lot of people were working from home. Now people are starting to go back into the office or doing a bit of a hybrid model, doing a bit of both. So how do we work that out with those changes?
All right, so for last tax year, you still have that shortcut method of 80 cents per hour, but that's not necessarily the best method. The issue is that is stopping. So that no longer applies for this year. And over 1 million people actually use that method. So what you need to do is, if you're working from home, start keeping your records now for a 4-week period to be able to prove your deduction. For last year, my tip is do not cut and paste what you claimed the year before for last year, because as you say, a lot of people didn't work at home quite as much, and the tax office is aware of that.
Yes, and they're even saying, they've even said this is what we're focusing on this year. They're watching.
They are going to focus. Also, when you're claiming work from home, the tax office expects that you will have less deductions in other areas, say travelling, tolls, laundering your clothes. And remember, this year's the first year we've got, from last tax year, to be able to claim expenses relating about rapid tests, masks that aren't provided by your employer.
Now that we have you here, we're talking about tax, of course, but you can also talk to us about superannuation as well, of course, Suzanne. And I believe there have been some changes to the super that came into place as of yesterday, the 1st of July. I think we've got a graphic up to have a look at some of the changes that's available here. The minimum superannuation contribution, of course, will be increasing as well. Talk to us about some of these other changes.
So, as far as the major issues, just remember, for those that are retired and living off their superannuation, there's also the ability to take a lower pension from their superannuation. I think that's been missed this year. So you can take a 50% reduction in your pension if you need to. For the superannuation, as you say, it's for the low income earners. It's very important because if you were earning $450 or less a month, you didn't receive any superannuation. And another change is that's gone up to 10.5% per on your pay now, so that's an increase of 0.5% as well. So that's significant. You're still not getting you're not getting superannuation for younger people under 18 who are working under 30 hours, which you'd have to say that's the majority of those people. So that was a little unfortunate that it didn't come off.
So you've said, Suzanne, don't do your tax too early, but also don't do it too late. When's the cut-off? When's the ideal time?
The sweet time, the sweet point would be July. But can I just say, Joanna, I didn't say not get prepared for your tax.
No, yes, fair point.
Lodge it about August, and you need to lodge it by the 31st of October, unless you're with an accountant, with a tax agent. We get longer to do your tax return because obviously we can't do everybody's return in a few months. So 31st of October, very important.
Otherwise, there's a penalty. Right.
You betcha.
Huge penalty.
Yes, it can extend to $1,000 or more, but there's also penalties for not declaring things. And I just wanted to remind people on cryptocurrency, because the tax office has wonderful data matching abilities, and they can see, because cryptocurrency's lost 40%, there'll be losses.
Yes. They know, they're watching.
They're watching.
Suzanne, great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Suzanne Haddon from BFG.